Previously, I've recorded on the ICE protesters out in Broadville, Illinois, outside of a ICE facility a couple of videos ago. Today is going to be an update on my commentary from 2 videos ago. Here we go.
Breaking news. Look at the live scene on your screen right now. Federal agents now have clashed with rioters outside that facility, that Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE facility near Chicago. So they were protesting peacefully earlier, and then they had to hit them with pepper balls. And you could see all of the melee just moments ago, and now the federal agents are holding the line against the rioters.
As they should.
They were 2 feet apart. Now they're a little bit farther apart, and if the camera could pull out, and I know that our reporter, Mike Tobin, is on the ground. He's with this photographer. I don't know if he can hear the sound of my voice, but we want to be able to see exactly. We've got most of the sign, but you see off to the left are the federal agents. On the other side of the sign, the protesters are being pushed back. Now there has been a lot of protesting, but again, this turned into something different. Broadview, Illinois, outside of Chicago, and agents formed a line just seconds ago. I want to bring in Mike Tobin. Mike, did something tip this in one direction, or did things just get too crowded, and was there any purpose in their movements as agents had to begin firing pepper balls at anti-ICE rioters?
There seem to be two incidents that drove what we're seeing right now. One, there was a vehicle that had to come into this temporary facility, and where the southwest entrance, and they had a lot of protesters there. So they needed to make space for that vehicle. And pardon my delivery, I'm just in the after effects of the tear gas. Also, it seemed that there were a few individuals that they wanted to detain. So they cleared out the crowd. They zeroed in. They had officers on foot who zeroed in on a couple of people. They put them face down and bound them up on the pavement out there, and they took those individuals into custody. And so what you see now is the aftermath. They've cleared out the, I would call this the southeast entrance to this temporary facility now, pushed all the demonstrators back onto 25th Street, and now you see them just holding the line right now to prevent them from going back to the same spot where they were before. Now you see all the demonstrators out there. A few of them are on the ground triaging, if you will, just dealing with the after effects of the gas and the pepper balls. In fact, something I can show you, I'll hang it up, put it right in front of the camera here. Here are some of the rubber bullets that are getting fired out there for the crowd control. It's a kind of a hard, yet not entirely hard rubber, and this is the pepper ball. If you can see really close, it may be hard on your screen, but that is filled with the chemical irritant that kind of goes up into a cloud of gas after they fire it. They're using that a lot. They hit the fence with it, and it makes a cloud and clears the people out. So this is the aftermath of all of that. You got a crowd of people still intent on not backing down would be their choice of words, but standing in confrontation with these officers. And the officers here, some of them from ICE, some of them from Border Patrol, backing the people up to make some space. And you look now, way down that road, that is the space that they created to the southwest entrance of this temporary ICE facility in Broadview, Illinois. Harris.
Mike Tobin, you're giving us some great close-up looks at what it takes to keep that ICE facility and those federal agents away from the rioters, but they are still not leaving. You pointed that out. Could you hear anything that any of these rioters were saying or chanting as this was going on, as federal agents had to move in and push them back with all really means necessary in terms of non-lethal, because that's what you just showed us with that ball.
Look at that sign, abolish ICE. You see it right here. I'm circling it with my mouse. Abolish ICE. This looks like it was professionally made, which means that somebody had to pay for it. I doubt if it was this individual. You have individuals out here with gas masks. They're not cheap. They are equipped to be out here to disrupt ICE operations in Broadview, Illinois. This has to be illegal. I understand that protesting is one thing, but blocking operations of a federal agency is not considered protesting. It's considered obstruction of justice, obstruction of a federal agency carrying out their day-to-day duties. They're doing their jobs. They're deporting illegal aliens who broke into this country illegally under the Biden-Harris administration. 4 years of millions and millions and millions of people pouring in through our U.S. southern border. And then these people expect us not to follow the law that's already on the books and deport these people, locate them, detain them, process them, and then deport them to their country of origin. These guys must be crazy. But these guys are out here to do more than protest. They're there to agitate. They're there to obstruct justice. Excuse me. They're there to provoke federal agents into a full-on brawl. That's the reason why they're out there. They're out there to get under these agents' skin so that they can do something that's unprofessional in a fighting manner or a brawl-like manner, to get it on camera so we can further the lunatic leftists could point the finger at Trump and his administration, talking about, hey, this is the chaos we're talking about. They're out there creating the chaos. They're out there creating the chaos. Let these ICE agents do their jobs. Let these federal law enforcement partners to ICE and to the local police department there in Broadview, Illinois, do their jobs. Let them do their jobs. Don't you have a job? Oh, I forgot. Your job is to go out there and agitate, obstruct justice, and lure federal law enforcement into a full-out brawl, melee, so you can catch it on film, and then it'll be spun over and over and over again on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS. You get the picture.
Right, and the non-lethal weaponry, they use gas, they use the rubber bullets, they use the pepper balls. And then in terms of things that the protesters say, frankly, you've heard all of it before. They say, Nazis, fascists, they say the totalitarian government, things of that nature. And of course, when someone gets picked up, they say that there was no reason for that individual to be picked up. You hear that pretty much every time, and they're not really singing off a different sheet of music this time around.
And what is happening right now? I mean, I know that they won't go away. Has the crowd gotten much thinner? I mean, you would think that with all of that pushing back from federal agents, people would just turn around and go home. But they are waiting. What is the wait for? Have you talked with any of them?
Well, it usually increases the number once there's a conflict. It encourages them. You got to keep in mind the protesters who show up at a place like this with the painters' masks on, with the keffiyehs and whatnot.
They're all white looking too. They all look like they lean left. They all look like they voted for Kamala Harris.
They're looking to make a statement, but they're also looking for the drama. They're not afraid of having a conflict. In fact, I think some of them are pretty encouraged to have some form of conflict. And when you see the line form up, that's where the conflict occurs, Harris.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-host Harris.
Yeah, so some of the points that I want to make up is that if you're in this country illegally, you need to be deported. Period. Full stop. Those protesters are out there obstructing justice. They're out there obstructing ICE and other federal partners working with ICE operations. They're disrupting operations. When Congress is in session and you have a bystander or an audience member of Congress who decides to disrupt congressional hearings or proceedings, they get arrested. They get arrested and processed. And then if they get a good enough lawyer, they'll probably get off. But the fact that they were arrested, detained, processed for disrupting a congressional hearing, same thing here in Broadview, Illinois. These protesters are disrupting ICE and federal officer operations in deporting illegal aliens. It's plain and simple.
We do continue to follow some breaking news this morning. Another protest is currently happening at the ICE facility in Broadview, which we have seen several different times now. Our Johnny Lum is there from the facility with much more. What are you seeing out there?
Now, so obviously the first clip was a national syndicated Fox News channel broadcasting throughout the U.S. This right here, streaming on Fox Local, is local to Chicago, Broadview, Illinois, and other surrounding areas. So just keep that in mind.
Well, although it seems quiet right now, I did see some of the protesters running past us with water. I don't know if someone needed assistance. There is another protest. The group is kind of split in half. There's one going on 25th Avenue, a little farther away from the Broadview ICE facility. There was some activity over there, and State Senator Robert Peters was there when it happened. I had heard the sound of those.
This dude is a shitbag. This dude is Robert Peters. He is an Illinois state senator. He's a senator in the state of Illinois, as opposed to a U.S. senator representing the state of Illinois. So he lives in Illinois and he is a senator in Illinois. He's got to be a Democrat. You know that. I looked him up.
Pellets being shot. What happened? What did you see?
Well, I mean, it's the fact that community was coming together to try to stop ICE from abducting people.
Heard the sound of those pellets being shot. What happened? What did you see?
Well, I mean, it's the fact that community was coming together to try to stop ICE from abducting people in our communities. And
ICE is not abducting people in your community, sir. ICE is there to make targeted arrests on known illegal alien locations, right? And then they bring them to the facility to get processed, and so that they could be deported back to their country of origin. But the reason why the pepper spray and the pepper balls had to be shot near the protesters is because the protesters were stopping operations. They were in front of vehicles trying to leave and enter the ICE facility there. Okay, they're the only reason why they're coming together, and those are not people of the community. They were sent there. They're getting paid to be there. And so they're not coming together to sing Kumbaya. They're there to disrupt, dismantle, obstruct, and get under the skin, under these agents' skin, so that a more violent outcome can come to fruition. Because these guys are there to start fights, right? These guys are there to start confrontation. They're not coming together to support shit. They want ICE out of their communities. They want illegal aliens to stay where they at and not deport them, and continue to drain our resources on a state funding level that was meant for law-abiding citizens of the United States.
And what you saw is the federal government shooting tear gas at people who were just trying to prevent another abduction from happening. So a car was coming in and they were standing in the way, peacefully doing the protesting that they need to do. And of course, par for the course for this administration, there was tear gas was shot at peaceful protesters. And so we're in a moment where now people have to be concerned about a federal government that's turning on them, because we have a president that continues to fail over and over again. And instead of taking responsibility for his failures, he's putting it on working class people in the United States, and he's attacking people's friends and family.
All right, so those people don't need to be there. Those protesters, if they had real jobs, if they were not paid to be there, normal people have bills to pay, right? So they're not going to waste time protesting ICE operations unless they're getting paid, right? So don't tell me that these guys are law-abiding citizens and they're peacefully protesting. If you're disrupting operations, if you're standing in front of an ICE vehicle that's looking to go forward to continue operations. If you're obstructing the vehicle's path to move freely, then that's not peacefully protesting.
And abducting them and violating free speech and violating this Constitution. And so what we saw was just another example of this president being violent and aggressive to his own folks in the United States.
It doesn't seem like, on this side at least, that there's been any action to provoke the shooting and the smoke that's happening. Over there, though, there were some demonstrators who were trying to block a vehicle, an ICE vehicle.
Which is illegal. And he gonna come out with a big old fat lie from his fat head.
Well, there were some demonstrators who were trying to block a vehicle, an ICE vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, in the history of peaceful protests, all they were doing was standing in front of a vehicle. Now, I'm someone who's a big...
All they were doing was standing... You call that obstruction.
History of the civil rights movement, right? Standing, making sure, whether it's marching a street, when we think about Selma, for example, or blocking in a peaceful way, the aggression isn't coming from people who are standing peacefully on a public way to prevent something from moving. The aggression is coming from the ICE vehicle who's trying to run people over. And look, I think when we look at the reputation of this administration, it's not like they care deeply about the Constitution. So even if you're doing something peaceful, even if you're standing there and you're trying to make sure to look out for yourself.
So this guy is talking about the Trump administration doesn't care about the Constitution. They are deporting illegal aliens that's not supposed to be here. And this guy, Robert Peters, I got a cousin that looked like him. This guy, Robert Peters, he wants illegal aliens to stay here. He wants the president not to uphold the law that's currently on the books. He wants chaos. This guy right here. He wants chaos. He wants lawlessness. He wants open borders. It's illegal. We must locate these illegal aliens and deport them ASAP. And these protesters, if you blocking anybody or any vehicle from moving forward or moving in an intended direction, you're in violation of freedom of movement. What are we doing here? Is this unlawful detainment, restriction of movement? It's almost like getting in somebody's face, that private space, right? Once you pass a certain threshold when you approach somebody, then that's basically an act of aggression, and you deserve to get your block knocked off.
Community, we have an administration that's willing to violate that as much as possible.
It sounds like people have been peacefully protesting in the way that Chicagoans have for decades.
Yeah.
This action, Operation Midway Blitz and Operation At Large, we're told going to go on for 45 days. We're in the middle of it now. Demonstrators are trying to do what they can, but what's going to happen here? I mean, it hasn't ended.
Yeah, well, we have a pretty stupid president who's having a failing administration, who's leaning into his authoritarian impulse. And because of that, what we have is some serious risks. And the public should know that this president who's cut Medicaid...
The public should know that Robert Peters is a piece of shit. And then they should also know, remember, I specifically indicated that streaming on Fox Local is local to Broadview, Chicago, Illinois, Broadview, Illinois, and the surrounding areas. The only people that really still watch TV are older people. And this is what they're getting. This is the type of news that they're getting, which is the reason why I'm making this video, because a lot of people that view from the analytics, a lot of people who view my videos are 55 and older, 65 and older crowd. So I have to bring another flavor to this, and I don't want to listen to this anymore. You catch the drift, right? You have a Trump administration who is only cleaning up Biden's mess. Millions and millions of illegal aliens have poured in through the U.S. southern border for the last 4 years. And we are trying to clean up this mess because the current infrastructure, the current budget levels at the state and federal levels are finite. It's finite. And what having millions and millions and millions and millions of illegals funding going towards that effort, you're depleting your budget faster than normal because, look, supporting illegal aliens is unsustainable. Unsustainable. The infrastructure to support them, unsustainable. The funding, unsustainable. The people who live in the communities where the illegal aliens are being stashed, basically, right? They're being put up or placed in Hispanic and black communities. They're not, illegal aliens are not in Mr. Peters' neighborhood. He looked like he'd been to private school himself. And I damn sure if he has kids, he's sending his kids to private school. There's no way this dude has illegal aliens living in his neighborhood, but he wants blacks and Hispanics and poor whites to have illegal aliens living in their neighborhoods, taking over their schools, military-age males living across the street from a bus stop for elementary school and middle school children. I mean, you have to look at this, man, and be like, this dude is lying to you, and you got to check him out. He's easy to find on the internet. But I'm not going to go on. I'll make another video, maybe provide another update. But thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and come back and see me sometime, will you? Thank you.